Hi guys, I'm back. Well, definitely Shiraz wouldn't want to hear this, but he's gonna have to. Shiraz, you lost. Just like I told you were gonna. You lost. You lost, you lost, you lost. So now you're gonna have to suffer the consequences.
Hello, people! This is the first ever pay per view review, and we are going to be speaking about the Royal Rumble. So, without any interruptions, let's just jump into it. Overall, it was a good show. It catered to the audience. I mean, listen, we are in a quote unquote new era. I mean, they've been promoting this new era since about 2016, and for the first time, genuinely, I do get the sense of, you know what, they are going into a different direction where they are actually listening to the crowd. They are catering to the audience. Again, this is an audience consuming company, and regardless of what I think about the finishes or anything, they've gone with the majority of the audience of what they wanted. I'm not going to speak about the tag team match between Akam and Dawson against Team Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Oh, was the result? Sorry. I'm not going to be speaking about that simply because it was a very pointless match. It didn't need to be there. It could have been on Raw, and I would have perfectly skipped that as well. I think the more noteworthy stuff comes in at the second match of the pre-show or the kickoff show, because it really ties into the main show very much. Nakamura versus Rusev for the US Championship. I've been speaking, well, not on camera, obviously, it's only my second video, but I've been speaking about how great Nakamura is for a long time, especially regarding the amount of hate that the guy's been getting since last year, especially regarding the amount of especially regarding the amount of hate and like the people saying that he's overrated, overhyped. Screw you. Clearly you did not watch him in NXT, and if you did, what the hell are you talking about? And you clearly didn't see his great run in Japan. I mean, I didn't. I've just watched a couple of his matches, and they are fantastic. So anyways, Nakamura picked up the win. Lana stood on the apron of the ring. Nakamura provoked her. Yeah, he was taking off the turnbuckle thing, sorry. But he was sticking with the turnbuckle thing. Lana came in. Lana stood on the apron, provoked him. He moved out of the way. Rusev knocked into her. She somehow hurt her ankle. Nakamura hit a nice Kinshasa at the back of his head. 1, 2, 3. Nakamura is again United States champion. And hopefully this time he's being booked much better than the previous run was. Okay, so the main show had Becky and Asuka wrestle their match, and Asuka tapped Becky out, which I do think was the right thing to do. I mean, there's a lot of people who's too much on the Becky bandwagon where they don't really see the bigger picture. For me, it's, listen, you have to make Asuka look like $1 million. Becky already looks great. I think a little bit too great. Becky looks fine. I mean, everybody knew what was going to happen in the Rumble, which we will get to, but Asuka needed to look like $1 million. She needs to go into WrestleMania as a credible champion, and by tapping out Becky, it was the perfect way to go. Who performed better? Honestly, in my opinion, I'm gonna say Asuka performed 10 times better in this match than Becky ever could. I'm sorry, but Becky's dropkick off the top rope really does not look good. I don't know if she hit it in this match, but she's been hitting it. She hits it every, like, in most of the matches, and it really doesn't look good. I mean, listen, if you're comparing her to Charlotte or Asuka, Ember Moon, she does not compare to them wrestling wise. But again, we'll get into that discussion later. So the next match, sorry, I forgot to speak about the Cruiserweight match. The Cruiserweight match happened. It was a great match. Murphy won, as we all predicted. The Bar and Team Shane and Miz, Shane McMahon and the Miz won. Of course they did. Nobody expected the Bar to win. I don't think that they would have gone with this angle now. I think Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, that's gonna be when the Bar regain the titles, and you have the split up between Shane and Miz. But this as for this match being, I mean, it was an okay match. I think they played off the storyline very well of Shane's hot tag, especially you had that beautiful shooting star press. Yeah, that beautiful shooting star press by Shane McMahon. I mean, the guy's hit it a couple of times. It's always impressive to see him do that. Congratulations, team Shane and Miz. And then we got Ronda Rousey match versus Sasha Banks for the women's champion. Now I know, you can all give it to me. I know I said Banks was gonna win and Banks did, and yeah. I was taking a gamble, so shoot me all you want. But I thought the match was very decent. Rousey, I don't know how I feel about Rousey as a wrestler. Uh, yeah, she puts on these good matches when she's working with good wrestlers. I mean, she put on a great match with Charlotte. She put on a great match with Banks. Obviously, Charlotte and Banks are good workers. Does her wrestling stand on its own? Does she have that amount? Is she that good of a wrestler where she'll be able to put on a good match with almost anybody? I don't know, but when she's paired with somebody who's extremely talented, yes, they can really produce something special. And yeah, I enjoyed the match. I still think Banks should have won. I still think Becky should have cost her the title shot. And I mean, yeah, Banks clearly teased the four horsewomen match at the end of this, so I thought that's what they were going with at Mania. But okay, we'll just see how this plays out. I'm now predicting that Banks and Charlotte and Bailey and all of like the four horsewomen, they all come out and they out the match during the main event of WrestleMania. Women's match, the Women's Royal Rumble match. I came into this, and I mean, most of us who were sitting here watching the show, we knew Becky's winning. For us, it would have been more predictable. Charlotte actually won. I mean, I could tell that Becky was going to win. You saw in the previous video when Yasin predicted, when that was his bold prediction, I said, yeah, that's most likely going to happen. Because, I mean, yeah, it was the obvious choice. I think Lacey Evans performed really well. I'm also I'm kind of a Lacey Evans fan, so I think Lacey Evans performed well in the match. Charlotte was great. Ricochet's girlfriend, I do not know how to pronounce your name, and I'm not going to dishonor you like that. You were amazing. You were one of the highlights. Ember Moon was incredible. Alexa Bliss was great. I think the wrestling on this Rumble, in fact, the wrestling overall throughout this pay-per-view has been really solid. I think this Rumble's wrestling, the females Rumble, was much better than last year's. When you're talking about wrestling and you're talking about the entries, I think that that this year's Rumble was much better. I also, and it's funny enough for me to say that, because I came into this Rumble thinking they're not going to top last year's. Last year's was just done really well. I enjoyed last year's Rumble. I enjoyed seeing, even though, I mean, yes, botches aside, I enjoyed seeing Kelly return. I enjoyed seeing Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, Lead. I enjoyed seeing all of those faces. I enjoyed seeing Beth Phoenix, the Bellas. I enjoyed seeing them all. So I did not expect them to actually do pull off a better match, and they did. So congrats WWE, you really pulled it off. Well done. And Becky won, and I mean, again, great, another case of them playing to the crowd, giving the crowd what they want, and you can't really hate them for that. Now let's talk about this. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm a biased guy. I mean, I'm a biased AJ Styles guy. So, I mean, this opinion is extremely biased. So, take that in. But I enjoyed this match because I actually sat down and I actually paid attention to AJ Styles' match, regardless of who won the Women's Royal Rumble match. I sat down and I told myself, I'm going to sit and I'm going to enjoy this match. I don't care if AJ Styles loses. I'm just going to watch it. And I enjoyed it. I mean, there was a great spot from where AJ Styles does the inverted DDT from outside the ring. I thought that was nice. There was a couple of great spots in there. I mean, obviously, the biggest hot take about this is the fact that Eric Rowan came out and all that kind of stuff. I mean, listen, that builds intrigue and that builds a progression to the storyline. So, again, can you really be upset about that? No. It's progressing the storyline. So, I'm intrigued and I can't wait to watch SmackDown tonight. Okay, then we got the match of the night by far. The match of the night. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. It was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes of non-stop action. It was what a Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar match should have been. And I don't think that they could have done it any better, if I'm being 100% honest. The only thing that they could have done to have made it better is if Finn actually won. that was it. But this match was amazing. I like the fact that Brock Lesnar did not use the F5. I like the fact that he used the Kimura lock to tap out Bella. Um, what else? I like the fact that Bella just went straight up in there because again, it shouldn't have been like AJ Styles was Brock Lesnar where AJ Styles first tried to find a way to get in and then Brock Lesnar just went in for the attack. It shouldn't have been like that. It should be different. Each of these small guy matches should have been different. So I'm glad that they went this route with Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor deserves. I mean, after watching Raw, it doesn't seem like it, but after the post attack, it looked like it looked like Finn Balor was going to go into WrestleMania fighting Brock for the US for the Universal Championship, but it doesn't look like they're going that way. Maybe they still do. Again, there's still a couple of months left till Mania, so who knows what they're going to pull off at the end of this. So now we move on to the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble. Started off with Elias turning heel, which, okay, I mean, I'm a big fan of Elias regardless, babyface heel. Elias is really cool, and I mean, Elias should have a better position in the company than he does. They should stop booking Elias into this 1 week type of thing where they just, okay, yeah, so this week we're going to do this and then next week we're just going to figure out what we're going to do with Elias again. They should stop that. They should really push the Elias thing into something really special, because I do really think that Elias has potential to be a main eventer. I think so. He should be. Especially, I mean, he was one of the big baby faces during the Baron Corbin era thing. So they should have given him a bigger push as a babyface. But I'm fine with Elias as a heel. Jeff Jarrett was Jeff Jarrett. Didn't really care much for that. Nakamura entering at number 3, so that was cool. Nakamura showing a bit more of a babyface side to him, especially coming out after Elias brutally attacked Jeff Jarrett. Then there was another section where you had Gargano came out. You had Gargano, Elias, and there was someone else. I can't remember. Please put them down in the comments who it was. But you had the 3 of them staring down Nakamura like they were about to start beating him up. That was right before Samoa Joe came in. I thought they're really starting to push They okay, maybe just in this match, but they booked Nakamura as a babyface in this match. And I mean that's cool. That's cool. Surprise entries: Gargano, Aleister Black, Pete Dunne, which was a cool one. Not really much happening. There wasn't really much that was happening in this Rumble. At least I can't necessarily remember. But I mean, it was enjoyable. There was great things. There was great moments that happened, and then you had the number 30 spot where you had Nia Jax interrupt R-Truth. Now again, listen, the amount of the roller coaster of emotions that I was going through when this whole thing was happening. Listen, at the end of the day, I can sit here and say, you know what, that was a fun moment. It shouldn't have been here, and she shouldn't have eliminated Mustafa Ali. Listen, you obviously know I was rooting for Mustafa Ali to win. That was my bold prediction. But at the same time, I wasn't necessarily really convinced that he was going to win. That's why I predicted safe. I wasn't convinced that he was going to win. That was my bold prediction. I was expecting a Samoa Joe to eliminate him, a Randy Orton, something down that line. But no, Nia Jax, that pissed me off a little bit, just a little bit. But then WWE completely redeemed themselves after they had Randy Orton and Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler really just gang up on her and beat her up. That was perfect. Nia Jax, I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. I mean, I'm not a fan, but for the past couple of weeks, I think ever since Sasha Banks got named by Ronda Rousey to be the number 1 contender, I've really been enjoying you for the most part. I mean, you still have your misses. You really have your misses. Like on the Raw, really didn't care for you that much. But at the Royal Rumble and at that particular week, I really enjoyed you. So thank you. You are putting something on the table for WWE. And again, It must have been cool to have gotten a super kick by Dolph Ziggler, 619 by Rey Mysterio, and an RKO by Randy Orton. That's every wrestling fan's dream right there. So good on you. And then Seth picked. Oh wait, sorry. Before I get into that, I think that the sequence between Andrade and Dolph Ziggler was amazing. That should definitely be a match sometime down the line. Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas were doing their thing in the Royal Rumble as usual. Braun Strowman was just there. Seth Rollins got taken out, and that's exactly when I knew, yeah, this is your guy, this is the guy who's winning. So yeah, that's fine. I enjoyed the finish. I really liked the fact that Andrade was in the top 4. But let's talk about the elimination. So the elimination was outside the ring. We had Seth Rollins hit a curb stomp on Braun Strowman, and that's how he fell out. Also, before I continue, before I wrap this up, the way Aleister Black eliminated Dean Ambrose was amazing. So good on you guys for that. Alright, so that's a review, and now you get to hear a bit more of a biased opinion. I'm not the biggest Becky Lynch fan. I'm sorry guys, I'm not. You can attack me all you want. The comments is there. I'll put my Twitter I'll put my Twitter in the description. Attack me there. But I'm not the biggest Becky Lynch fan, and I have my reasons. I'm not saying that Becky Lynch sucks. I'm not saying that Becky Lynch is a crappy wrestler or anything like that. She just does not appeal to me, and I hope that you can respect that. I'm sorry. I'm just not the biggest Becky Lynch fan. Again, the way she carries herself, it's not badass. I'm sorry, I don't see badass. That does not remind me of Stone Cold. That reminds me of someone trying too hard to be Stone Cold. That's what I'm getting from that. I mean, people are saying, Stone Cold Becky. No, that's not Stone Cold. She does not produce the cool factor that she's trying to. So for that reason, I'm sorry, I'm not into Becky. Again, she's very basic as a wrestling moveset is, and again, that's by no means a bad thing. If you can hit all of those moves really well, then then that's perfect. But she's really basic, and I already spoke about the drop kick, which I don't necessarily like. And then yeah, the character doesn't really do it for me. She's too phony. If I'm being, it's too corny. It's so corny. Like, this isn't somebody that's going to bring back hardcore wrestling fans. I don't feel this is not somebody who's going to get some people reinvested into hardcore fans. I don't think so. Sorry guys. But yeah, Becky Lynch, not the biggest fan. Seth Rollins, also not the biggest fan of Seth Rollins. I enjoyed Seth Rollins' character as a heel, but this babyface character has become so toned. It's almost like he's so extremely generic. It doesn't come across as genuine a lot of the times, where, like, even on Raw he came out and was like, oh yeah, I have heart. It's like, no, just don't be the generic babyface. Don't be the generic babyface. We really don't need another John Cena. That's essentially where they went wrong with Roman Reigns in the first phase of Roman Reigns starting to get the heat. Was they started booking him like John Cena, started cutting the same promos like John Cena. That we don't need that. John Cena wasn't even liked for those type of promos. People hated John Cena. So yeah, I'm not particularly happy with the way Royal Rumble played out. If this was completely up to me, I would have had Mustafa Ali win, because I mean, obviously, and I would have had Charlotte win, or not even Charlotte. I would have had Ember Moon win, but again, she's injured now, so sorry about that. But that's the way I would have gone with it. So yeah, overall, really great show. Just because I'm a bit negative on the outcomes and on the finishes doesn't necessarily mean that I think it was a bad show. It's just I wasn't necessarily happy with the outcomes, but it was still an amazing show to watch. It does show progression. It does show that WWE is getting into that new era. You do get a sense of, yeah, maybe they are doing something. Maybe WrestleMania is going to be an amazing show. Who knows? But anyways, that's all the time I have as of right now. Thank you for watching. Have I ever told any of you people who have only seen this video? I have a couple of other channels as well. There is My Take and there is Mind of Dreamers. My Take is a place where I complain about music, or where I praise Dream Theater. Because let's just be honest, that's essentially what it is. Mind of Dreamers is necessarily more of a community channel where me, a couple of other people are part of the community, part of our YouTube community, where we just post videos for fun, and then I have my personal channel where there's special stuff coming up there, so please stay tuned to those. With that being said, all I can say, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below in the comment section, and you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, all of those will be in the description. With that being said, I again say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.